Today on the Tiger Basketball Report, we'll review the Tigers' trip to Puerto Rico as well as preview their matchup against Temple. Get ready, fans. The Tiger Basketball Report starts now. Hello again, fans, and welcome to the Tiger Basketball Report presented by the Green Turtle. I'm your host, Ben Rosenbaum. The Tigers took a trip over Thanksgiving down to Puerto Rico. They split the results down there, going 1-1 on the trip. And as always, I'm joined by head coach Diane Richardson. And coach, welcome back, and welcome back also to the mainland, I guess, after a nice trip to Puerto Rico.
Right, and the weather, right?
How was that? I mean, it's a unique situation to be able to take your team. I mean, we always hear about these kind of tournaments where whether they go some play on Navy ships, others go to Mexico City, and then you have Puerto Rico. What was this trip like for the team? Because you've taken another big trip out to California, but this is a cool one.
This one it was a good trip for them to experience, going so far and, the different cultures and everything. So they got a chance to eat some of the cultural food and things like that and visit, Old San Juan. So it was good.
And again, I have to imagine, because of the amount of new pieces you have, this is just another very, very solid team building, camaraderie building opportunity. And I'm sure there was a lot of that going on.
Yeah, absolutely. We did that and the fact that it was Thanksgiving. So we got to have our Thanksgiving meal together as well.
But of course, you went down there, takes care of some business. Start off taking on a very good Iowa Hawkeyes club. Tough loss there, and that was just a tough game overnight. A tall task. Nakia looked good. Nakia looks like she's returning back to Nakia Mayo form. 22 points for her, 5 rebounds. Maya, again, another double-digit performance for her with 14. Mello, just 12. And then Scoop, we'll get to her in a minute. 9 points for her, probably one of her best scoring days as a Tiger. But looking at Iowa, they shot very well from the floor, 56%. That had to be upsetting for you.
Yeah, it was, and we knew going in that, I wanted to schedule this game for us to play against a Power 5 game, a team to prepare us for our conference. And, I think we executed our scout early, but just ran out of energy and the physicality weighed on us a little bit.
And they kind of gave you a taste of your own medicine, what you usually dish out to teams. You look Iowa getting 20 points off of turnovers. That's something you guys usually are doing the teams up and down the court, left and right.
Right.
And I know that had to bother you as well.
Yeah, for sure.
What do you say to the team about, A, the ball security, and B, limiting then those points to score off those turnovers?
Yeah, we needed to stop them in defensive transition, and I think we lost sight of that and, watching the ball a little bit too much. And Iowa, they do send their guards, and we didn't get back. That was a lesson we learned and try to capitalize on getting better at that when we played Iona.
And we mentioned the 22 points for Nakia, 14 for Maya. That has to just be a huge confidence builder for them, like you said, to go play a Power 5 team at a program like Iowa and to play extremely well at a high level and to put up the stat lines they put up. And, obviously you want to win the game, but if you have to get something out of it, you get a really big confidence boost for some of your key players.
Yeah, absolutely. And attest to that, Iowa actually went into a triangle and 2 against us. So that's kind of a compliment of our scoring abilities with our kids. But again, we bounced back from that. We learned some things from that as well.
So then fast forward, you take on Iona. We talked about 56% from the floor for Iowa. They shoot only 32%, and that on the defensive end had to make you smile.
Yeah, it did. And, again, we went back to Towson basketball, Towson defense in the Iona game.
And we a couple of shows ago, we had been talking about how you messed with your lineup a little bit. Ryan Holder now coming off the bench. You did it again.
Correct.
Now Mello came off the bench. Probably anyone who's been around Towson basketball for the last 2 years, 1.5 or year and a half, would probably be like, oh my God, why is Jeter coming off the bench? Why isn't she starting? But 31 points, 9 rebounds. Obviously, you knew what you were doing, and it sent a message to her.
Yeah, it did send a message to her. I didn't think she had such a good game against Iowa and didn't play the style of basketball that she could. And Ryan and Maya Jones did, and so we, had her coming off the bench, and I think she didn't like that too much and performed like she should have.
And then Maya, again, she averages 14 points over the last 2 games, another 14-point game for her.
Yes.
I can do that math, that's quick. Her role on this team, she seems to have solidified it, and she's gotten comfortable. We talked to her after the American game, and she seems like she's now getting comfortable in this rotation.
Yeah, she is, and again, it comes with just building this team bond together, and she's feeling like she's a part of the team now, and we're seeing some great things. I mean, her shooting percentage, she's 6 for 6 from 3, so we like the ability to have another scorer.
Another stat that, for me at least, is a little bit of a head scratcher in that Iona game, only 8 assists for you as a team. And you talk about someone like Q Murray, who she usually has them piling up. What has changed where we're not seeing the assist numbers that we've seen in the past, maybe?
Well, I think, our transition is a little different. Once you put the ball on the floor, then the assist goes away. So I think it comes from a lot of that where we're throwing the ball way ahead.
And Q has done, she's still producing, she's still scoring, she's getting double-digit points, so she's producing in other ways, and she seems like a kid who, you tell her, okay, one night you're going to have 12, 13 assists, tonight I'm going to need you to score 12, 13 points, and she kind of flawlessly flows between those two roles.
Yeah, she does, and that's why we call her the floor general. She can do anything on the floor that we ask her to do, and sometimes we will ask her, we'll need more scoring, or we'll need you penetrating and kicking out, and so we saw a lot of that too.
So 2 unique games in Puerto Rico, and now you're back home for another unique game.
Right.
Wednesday at 11 o'clock here inside CQ. It's the annual STEM game. School kids around Baltimore County, Baltimore City are going to be coming into CQ Arena, and this is just a great opportunity to expose them to college basketball, but also for them to have a big learning opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely, and we look forward to that game every year, and our education department does a great job with the young students here, and they go through things STEM related, so it's a good opportunity for them, and then for us to play in front of a big crowd.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's also a big home court advantage for you, because you bring in a team, first of all, they're playing at 11 o'clock on a Wednesday,
right,
and now they have to deal with a bunch of screaming school kids, and it gets loud
in
here.
It gets loud, it definitely does.
And this year, the lucky individuals are the Temple Owls from up in Philly. They're 4-4, coming off a loss to Creighton. What jumps out at you about the Owls?
Well, they're an up-tempo team as well, so we'll see something, kind of like the way we play. We push the ball in transition, and so do they. They've got some, scorers that can get the ball in the hole as well.
They kind of look like a bizarro world version of Towson. They're the other TU. They have 3 individuals that are averaging in the double digits, led by Mia Davis, who's 21. Do you almost self-scout in this situation and kind of go, well, they're similar, similar threats, similar offensive threats, and do you kind of just take a look at yourself in the mirror in this situation?
Well, and it's pretty much like us looking in the mirror. The other advantage, I would say, is I've seen Mia Davis, she's from the area, play for a number of years. And then I have a relationship with Ashley Jones, who I recruited to West Virginia. So I know their style, I know the way they play, so they are pretty much like we are.
And you take a look at their team stats, they're ahead in the turnover margin and the rebound, but it's not significant. It's not significant. I think it was 0.3 in the turnover margin, 2 rebounds, +2 in the rebound. So it's kind of a game where if you play your brand of basketball and you just take care of a few of those stat lines, you should come out on top. Yeah,
and we plan to do that. I know it's going to be a tough battle. I know it's going to be a lot of up and down, but we've scouted them and we're ready.
All right. That'll do it for us today on the Tiger Basketball Report. The Tigers in action Wednesday inside CQ Arena. You can catch the game either inside CQ along with the visiting school kids or on TowsonTigers.com. For head coach Diane Richardson, I'm Ben Rosenbaum. Thanks for joining us, and as always, go Tigers.